Hi there, this is Tom Dawson-Squibb, and welcome to this segment of the Leading Conversation, a conversation designed to give you insight into the world of elite performance through the lens of leadership and the mind. Look
No
forward
problem,
to
Tom.
a brief chat.
Yeah.
Dillyn, I would love to know if there was one big mistake that you made in your life or your career that you could go back again and play over. What would that be?
Yeah, I've sort of got two things maybe, rugby-wise, or basically one on the field and one off the field. I think on the field was in the quarter-final this year. Sort of just made a bad read on the fence. Didn't pick up that there was still an extra player outside me, and Aaron Cruden threw the ball over me, and that they ended up scoring, which was a winning try in the quarter-final. And I think still something that I needed to let go of. Couple of weeks still after the quarterfinal, I was still hanging on to it. And yeah, off the field, I'd say not finishing my studies at UCT. I think I gave that up too quickly when it came down to the choice of continue studying and playing rugby. My biggest fear on the field is that I can sometimes get very complacent. I think when things are going well for me, I get into such a good space, but I think then sometimes I'm not mentally as focused as what I should be for games, and I think probably that's my biggest fear, that complacency might creep into my game. And in saying that, off the field, it's my mental preparation. I think, like I say, sometimes I get in such a good space, and I'm so confident that I can go out and go give the team what they need and perform, but that I don't do the work off the field.
If we were to look at your most important habit that you have, what would you say that is?
A habit that I've gotten into lately is just about letting go of the mistake as quickly as possible. Continue playing with a smile on my face, and know that everyone sort of makes a mistake in the game every now and then.
When I look at you, you look like such an instinctive player. I know you're a YouTube sensation back in 2010, but when I look at you, you're such an instinctive player. Without over-analyzing it, what does it feel like for you when you're in absolute flow? When you're almost not thinking too much? When you're at your best? What are you experiencing?
I think you summed it up perfectly there, Tom. I think when I feel that I'm at my best is that I'm playing without overthinking the situation. I think I get myself into such a good space that I enjoy every single moment while I'm out there. And I think it's only recently sort of become part of my game, because I was injured for such a long time last year. I thought so much about, I put so much pressure on myself about working hard and trying to get myself back into the team, because guys have now sort of jumped ahead of me in the pecking order, so to say, that eventually during pre-season I went back and I had a chat with my dad, and all he said to me was, whether you in the team for the first couple of games or not, just make sure that when you get your chance, you're enjoying playing rugby again, because you've been out for so long. So I think I took that to heart, and I think when I'm at my best and I'm in that flow, I think people can sort of see that enjoyment, and that I'm just not thinking too much about playing, and I'm just actually going out there and playing the game. Yeah, I think, Tom, there's obviously, as any sportsman does, you want to see yourself improving every single time, and personal goals is a big part of my growth, and not goals in terms of yearly goals or at the end of 2017 this is where I want to be, just sort of monthly goals. As silly as it might seem, I've had this screensaver on my phone. I don't know if you can see now, but it's got 7th October 2017 written on there. That's the Springbok test against the All Blacks in Newlands, and it's been my screensaver for since I was in the rugby championship. That this is the test that I wanted to play in, and that's sort of the growth I've picked up lately. Not to get too ahead of myself. It's easy when some journalist is writing something good about you, you know, you already thinking you're a sensation, you know, and you know, like I say, you get complacent at times. But I think the growth for me as a rugby player lately is just to go one step at a time and not to get ahead of myself. Yeah.
Awesome, Dill. I think it's been massively insightful. If you had one bit of advice for your 20-year-old self, so you go back some years and you could give your 20-year-old self one little bit of advice, what would that advice be?
Enjoy what you're doing. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. Yeah, I think, like I said, I think that's where I am in my career right now. I'm enjoying everything. You know, whether I'm playing, not playing, I'm enjoying being a part of each and every single squad that I'm involved in. And I think, you know, to my 20-year-old self, that's probably, you know, the advice I would have given. Yeah.